Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which I'm offering signed copies of on my website. It's been really popular. I just got a new shipment of books in, and basically I just pick a card for you and personalize a message based on what I think that card's meaning might be for you. So if you want to get that, you can go to ElliotOracle.com and buy a book there. It is time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo of 3 different animals, and I asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal's calling to you, because that animal has your message. And the animals were the wolf, the skunk, and the blue heron. So if you're just joining me right now, ask yourself which animal's getting caught in your head, because that animal has your message. For those of you who picked the wolf is the teacher of the animal kingdom, and you can see him baying at the moon. And the moon represents our inner instincts, our intuition, our authentic self. And so if you're attracted to wolf at this time, it might be time to disconnect from the confines of, the civilized world and all its pressures and obligations, and instead really get back in touch with what is in your nature, what really calls you home. The wolf is a very spiritual animal, and this could be a guide towards your own spirituality. First card for wolf is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And look at that. Speaking of spirituality, we see the judgment card. All angels in the tarot represent your higher self. And the angel of judgment is blowing the trumpet, and all the dead are rising out of the grave again. A lot of times judgment will come up when you're going through a rebirth or a renewal. Judgment will indicate that the sleeping or dead parts of your own spirit are starting to stir back to life again. And so you might be feeling a call toward an awakening again. And this just might be a time when energy is going to be returning to you. And so for wolf, I feel like this is an important time to invest in your spirit, or also in the thing that makes you feel the most alive. It might be time to stop sleepwalking through life and instead get back in touch with what makes you aware, alert, and present. The second card is advice from your inner wisdom. And we actually got the 4 of Wands. And this is a card that will encourage you to celebrate your rites of passage. The 4 of Wands is a social card, and it could indicate that one of the things that might be awakening for you is a sense of fun or connection. Also, the 4 of Wands can be a card of really marking out those moments and acknowledging something that you've really fought long and hard for. And this could be a time where you're reawakening a sense of joy in your life. And so I just kind of feel like with 4 of Wands and Judgment, this could be a time to lighten up, celebrate, or bring something back into existence that might have felt like it was slumbering for quite some time. And the mythic archetype that will help you if you pick the wolf is actually Pandora. She's the goddess archetype with the box, or in some myths, the jar, of which all the plagues come out, but she shuts the jar before hope leaves. And when I see Pandora next to Judgment, it could indicate that the dead thing that might be awakening in your own life right now might be your sense of hope, might be your sense that there is a better day to come. And especially as we're looking towards spring, I just get this intuition for wolf that the spring is going to hold that rebirth, that renewal, that joy that might have felt like it was sleeping for quite some time. So whenever we see Pandora, she guides you to hold on to hope and to not let go of it. The second animal we're going to go into is the skunk. And skunk is a symbol for self-esteem and reputation. All animals respect the skunk just by looking at it. They don't need to, think twice about it. They will definitely keep their distance. And skunk is all about mastering the art of body language and really making sure that what you're proclaiming to the world is that you're deserving of respect. Skunk is telling you to walk your talk. So this could be a time where you're really kind of adding your own values behind whatever posture you're putting forward. But skunk is really just telling you, be really aware of how you're showing up in the world, what kind of body language you're using, and what that's proclaiming about what you believe about yourself. First card for skunk is where it's best to place your focus. And we got the 5 of Swords, which is always a card that warns you not to take on more than you can handle. This could be a time where you're feeling inundated or there's just so much to do. And it might even feel like you're not sure where to start. And the Five of Swords is just saying, start where you are, begin where you are, pick up the first pieces. And sometimes this is a card of prioritizing. It could indicate that you really want to break up your larger tasks into doable bits and just accomplish a little bit day after day. The Five of Swords says that all will get done when you're dispassionate, when you're in your mind and look at things cerebrally or logically or in an organized way. And so Five of Swords is telling you to get organized in your own thinking, and that clarity is going to sweep away any self-doubt. The second card is advice from your inner wisdom. And look at that. For the skunk, we got the sun, which is the best card in the deck. The sun could indicate that the new day is going to be dawning, and that you do want to begin with the process of whatever it is that you're trying to organize, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, and really go toward infusing that with joy, infusing that task with whatever makes you feel happiest. Also, the sun is a card of magical assistance, and it could indicate that if you're trying to do the whole job by yourself, that might be something that is counterproductive. And instead with the sun, we see the baby who's riding the horse. The horse is a symbol for magical assistance. This could indicate that you want to open yourself up to assistance, help, or support from those people that are around. And then finally, the mythic archetype that will help you is actually Atlas. And he's a symbol for responsibility. You can see he's got the whole weight of the heavens on his shoulders. When Atlas shows up, it might feel like you have the weight of the world on your own shoulders, that there is this pressing thing to do. And what you're really needing to do is just take responsibility for it. Just get the job done. Atlas reminds you that only one person can do this job, and it's you, so you might as well do it. And I just feel like if you take responsibility, if you take charge of your schedule, if you get organized in your thinking, that sun is really going to lead you to a brighter day, and you're going to be so relieved that you did it. And then finally, the blue heron is coming up here. And the blue heron has been called the water phoenix. Sometimes the blue heron asks us to reflect on our deeper emotions, our feelings, what's going on beneath the surface. And it could also be a symbol for a reawakening of a feeling heart at this time. If you felt stressed or numbed, blue heron could be calling you back into awareness and reawaken your sense of spirit and also your heart. First card for blue heron is where it's best to place your focus. And we got the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of cultivating good karma. You can see the wealthy merchant on the coin, and he's handing the coins to the poor. And he knows he's not going to get those coins back, but he's doing it anyway. Because on the other side of him are those scales that he's holding, which represents that karmic law of balance. And so what Six of Pentacles is telling you, if you pick blue heron, is to whom much is given, much is required. And it might be a time where you're not just about receiving or taking in all the blessings, but instead that you're also redistributing some of what you have to offer. And I just kind of feel like with Six of Pentacles, this is also a time to employ your wisdom. What has your path been teaching you up until now? And how can you use that wisdom to best help others? Because in that way, it's just kind of making the world a better place or transforming the energy around you. Advice from your inner wisdom is actually the soul-searching hermit. And so with the water phoenix, with the blue heron, this might be a time to turn inward and also to seek deeper meaning. The hermit is going through the dark. He can't see the whole pathway forward. And he's also an old man with a cane going over a bunch of snow. So he's not moving very fast. And I feel for blue heron, this is a time to take time with your feelings. The hermit is also going into the realm of ice. And water in the tarot represents emotions and feelings. And when we see ice, it could be feelings that have been put on ice. And the hermit is saying, now's the time to warm those icy peaks and let the water flow again. Let your feelings flow and examine some emotions that you might have been in survival mode about. It might have been like, well, I'll deal with this later when I can feel it. And now is the time to feel that. So this is a time of seeking that inner wisdom. And the mythic archetype that will help you is actually Perseus. He's the hero who confronts Medusa, the Gorgon goddess, who can represent a paralyzing fear or a shadow within that's too scary to look at directly. It can paralyze us. It can turn us into stone. And instead, we need to look at its reflection. I feel like for Blue Heron, this is a time to reflect, to face your shadows, and also to bring light to the dark places. And this is also going to be what recreates balance for you. And that is this week's Oracle. If you liked it, you can always check me out at elliotoracle.com and schedule a reading with me there. Otherwise, I'll see you all next week, and do take care of yourselves. Bye for now.